Do good work is not a label, but a way of living. It is the constant and diligent effort to achieve a new level of excellence in one's own life. It is the hidden inner beauty behind the struggle to achieve excellence. It's not perfect, but imperfect. It is the effort, discipline, and focus that often goes unnoticed. The goal of Do Good Work is to highlight that drive. The guests I have on this show emulate this drive in their own special way. You'll be able to apply new ideas into your own life by learning from them. We will also have one-on-one episodes with me where we'll dive into my own experience with entrepreneurship and leadership. Every episode is designed to provide you with ideas that you can apply and grow in excellence in all areas of your life, business, and career. Something that is seen with entrepreneurs, and this can be at any level, but typically these are entrepreneurs who've reached a certain level of momentum. And specifically, the hurdle, the roadblock that's reached is a productivity guilt trip, or what I call the productivity guilt trip, right? So let's talk about what it is and how to combat it, because it's an obstacle actually to your growth and to your momentum in the company and the business. So what is the productivity guilt trip? Essentially what it is if you have enough leverage, if you created enough leverage in your company where it doesn't need you, the founder or the co-founder or the CEO, in the day-to-day activities, if it no longer needs you, well, it needs you still, but it doesn't need you like every single moment of the whole day, right? If it doesn't need you there, then you can feel guilty that you're working, perhaps, quote unquote, working 3 to 4 hours a day while your team is still working full time or 12 hours per day, right? So you kind of feel guilty because like, oh, well, my team has to do this. So I have to do a lot of work because I'm the leader and I have to, I have to contain the hustle and the mentality of don't quit, don't be lazy, etc., etc. Now, we feel bad because you can feel bad. Not everyone does feel bad, but you can feel bad simply because that everyone else in the company is working, and it's more of a shift in perspective of why you feel bad. Okay. One of the reasons why I do believe that entrepreneurs experience the productivity guilt trip is because of the hustle mentality. It's because of the mentality that we're told as entrepreneurs that you have to be working 24/7 or 16-hour days, put it that way. You have to be working, minimum 16-hour days. If you're not, you're lazy, or you're not, fully in it, or you're just doing this like as a side hustle. And that in a way is good. It's good to be able to have initiative and drive and do whatever it takes to reach a mission and reach a goal. That's a very healthy, very good thing. However, we can't be on overdrive all the time. Because when's the last time that you did something you absolutely loved and had an inspiring new idea that you wouldn't have had otherwise? When's the last time that you took a vacation and you had a really remarkable idea on your third day of relaxation? You're like, wow, this is something new that I can definitely incorporate. Or perhaps a spontaneous conversation with someone in a similar industry, in a different industry, that you would have never ran into if you didn't take an afternoon walk or a little break after your meetings that day. Okay. So what I'm talking about here is balance. You can't have the balance of one end of saying, you know what, productivity guilt trip, I am going to not have it, and I'm going to go ahead and just be super lazy and sit on my laurels all day and relax because this is what I love to do, versus working 16, 18-hour days. So you can't be too extreme. All right. The two extremities are never really good. What we can do is incorporating balance. And this doesn't mean balance of like, this is my work mode, this is my work thought. I'm only in work zone right now, and I'm in family zone, I'm in grocery shopping zone. We are doing that in time. However, our minds don't stop working. Our minds will still think about work if you're sitting on a paddleboard or surfing, if you're buying groceries, if you're picking up the kids, or if you're driving in your morning commute downtown. Your mind is always at work. So let's just allow our mind to work and do its thing. So we can get inspiration from all areas of life. We can get inspiration from, let's say you take a hike or a walk, or you take some time in the afternoon. The beauty that you see from nature can strike you. You can have inspiration from that. You can see something like that. Or perhaps you're reading a book or reading something new that challenges your thinking, but also allows you to uncover a truth that you never knew or understood. So it helps you become more creative, or it challenges your intellect, or makes you become stronger intellectually. Or perhaps you're volunteering or helping out downtown, and it kind of reconnects you to what it means to be human again, to give, the simplicity of that. And if you have the leverage and you have the opportunity to have time to think, the time to reconnect, the time to think about bigger questions, the time to look at the overall strategy of the company, then you not only to yourself, but you also owe it to the team and the vision and the mission of the company to do so. And you can't really fall into a productivity guilt trip if you think about it in that way. Okay? So this is a super generality, but I'm going to talk about it anyways, is that typically for entrepreneurs or business owners, there's kind of two camps. There's obviously more, but let's just be super simple here. There's two camps. There's the camp of, I'm building an asset, I'm building something cool, I'm going to sell it, in 5 to 10 years, and it's going to sell for X multiple, and I'm going to cash out. Cool. The other camp is, I'm going to build this and I'm going to work till I die. That's the blunt way of saying that. I'm going to work and create a legacy, right? And both are good camps. Both are very healthy. However, the shared commonality between both is that as entrepreneurs, you're never going to stop. We may reach a level of quote unquote success, a milestone that we wanted to do, but that milestone is a moment in time, because once you hit that, time still keeps going, and then you're like, well, what's next? What else do I do? What else can I do? And obviously the more momentum, the new baselines. With new baselines, more opportunity, more impact. So that's everything I'm about and everything I talk about, right? But however, we're talking about you and the entrepreneur is that you're always going to say, what's next? You're never going to be really satisfied. And I think an older idea, and it's still a healthy and a good idea. Well, I'm not too sure if it's healthy anymore, but it's an older idea that the traditional thought of, I'm going to work super hard for 20 years, and then when I'm 65, I'm going to cash out and then just relax and retire. That idea, I think is dying out. I think is becoming less and less popular. And for both camps, no matter if you're trying to sell something, build an asset in your company and sell it and move on to the next thing, or if you're building a legacy, building something that's impactful, because both ways are impactful, but building something that you're going to die working, for example, both have the commonalities that you're not going to stop. Right? Because I know personally for a fact that I don't ever really want to retire. I'll be always doing something, be always creating and, giving back or creating something new and leading a team. So, and I know that isn't a silo. I know that a lot of people do share that, even in both camps. But the whole idea is, how can we look at whatever we're doing in our business, whatever camp you're in the long-term vision? Like literally think like, well, this is what I'm going to do for a very healthy age in life. So thinking in a long-term perspective, because if we're thinking in a long-term perspective, then we need to change our day-to-day. We need to incorporate a holistic approach to our day-to-day. And we need to create a shared vision that not only ourselves, but our team, whoever that may be, can also join in on and have a stake in. They don't have to have ownership if you don't want to do that, but they need to have some sort of ownership in regards to their decision making, their leadership styles, who they hire, how they help you grow into that future vision. Because when you shift the productivity guilt trip around you, then yeah, you're going to feel guilty because it's all about you. But really, this company or this business, this mission, this isn't about you anymore. If you shift it more to the shared vision, this is something that you need to communicate to your team. And if communicate it to your team, then when you communicate it to your team, then they can have a buy-in. And it's something that they can see themselves doing. And it's all around, shifting that perspective to not fall into the productivity guilt trip, thinking about yourself, focusing outwardly, creating a shared vision, and being able to have a long-term plan approach to that. And that's how you communicate that to your team effectively. And that's how you lead effectively and pretty much eliminate the productivity guilt trip